This is the biggest day on the netball calendar. It's netball's version of State of Origin, this. The Sydney Swifts take on the Queensland Firebirds in the final of the Trans-Tasman Netball competition today. I'm from Queensland, so I'll obviously be going for the Firebirds. So I've had to call in a former Vixens captain from Melbourne to try and play the impartial part today, and it's a very handy hand that can do that for us in Sharelle McMahon, the former Australian captain. Sharelle, is this becoming almost the best rivalry that you've got on the go in netball at the moment?
I would have to say that for sure. Those who don't know, this has been growing. Obviously, the Queensland-New South Wales rivalry is huge across a number of sports, but last year in the grand final of the ANZ Champs, it was the Swifts who did it the hard way, had to travel a number of times in the lead into the grand final. It was in Brisbane. They led for the entire match except for the final 14 seconds of the game, where the Firebirds just took the lead by 1 goal and won. And so there is a lot of fire in the bellies, probably of both teams really, going into the game today.
Let's get into some of the key matchups. Not surprisingly, I imagine you want to start with the goal attacks. And there's two very different styles on show. The unorthodox Gretel Tippett from Queensland and the more textbook Susan Pettit from the Swifts. Sharelle, what are you expecting from both of them?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Obviously, being an ex-goal attack, I absolutely love watching these two players play. And I struggle to find the most important contest down the court because everything's going to be crucial. But Gretel Tippett often leads the team in centre pass receives. She feeds Romelda Aiken incredibly well, and she's just so athletic and incredibly hard to contain. So if the Swifts can get on top of her and shut her down a bit, that could go a long way. And as you say, Susan Pettit for me has just been in absolutely outstanding form this season. Her combination with Caitlin Thwaites has been very, very tough to hold down. And Coach Rob Wright, the way they beat the Firebirds during the season is that Susan Pettit moved from that goal attack position back to goal shooter, and that they brought Stephanie Wood on, who's a short moving goaler as well, and changed things completely for the Firebirds and made it very tough for them, and they won that game. So Coach Rob Wright for the Swifts has got a lot up his sleeve in that goal shooting end.
Sharelle, not often that the defenders becomes set a stage when you're talking about key matchups, perhaps, especially when you're talking to an attacker about key matchups. But two of the bests on show today, in Shani Layton from the Swifts and the current Australian captain in Laura Geitz, from switching from the attacking end to the defensive end. Break down these two for us.
Yeah, look, you're right. They are both just probably the best players in the competition. Laura Geitz just has the uncanny ability to turn the ball over for her team when she needs it to happen. And in the past few times they've come up against each other, Laura Geitz has really got in the head of Caitlin Thwaites, and she's had a little bit of a struggle. Her coming out for the ball, intercepting, really making a tip. She's just that type of player, inspirational leader who can turn it over when she needs to. And for the Swifts, Shani Layton is just someone who is incredibly special to watch. She has such a great energy. She's bellowing out from the end of the court and she prowls, and she really does intimidate opposition players. Now, her contest against Romelda Aiken is an absolute key. Romelda Aiken in the final last week shot 57 goals, which is huge for any goal shooter. And Shani Layton has the ability to turn that ball over. She'll need a lot of support, though, from the rest of her team and putting the pressure on before the ball gets to the goal circle.
In a word, Sharelle McMahon, who wins?
The Firebirds. But I would like more than one word, because I think the Swifts can give it a shake, but I just think at home in Brisbane they've got such a good record, and mentally I just think they've got such a great confidence at the moment, the Firebirds.
A little bit each way. Sharelle McMahon, I appreciate you joining us. It is a bit like that today, guys, so the Firebirds will start favourites. But
it'll be entertaining, hopefully,
could be
regardless.
an upset.
Great. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.